Good morning, my friend.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Very, very good. Happy Saturday. So, Vicky, this is a very special episode.
It is indeed.
What are we talking about today?
Today we're going to talk about something really, really special and powerful because we will be dealing with stepping out of the box.
Are we stuck in the comfort of our own box sometimes?
I would say that most of the time. If, although we can get out of that comfort zone if we create awareness that we are in a box.
Yeah, I remember that many times in my life I was stuck in my own box, and we all have dreams to follow. We all have aspirations. And sometimes being confined by some limitations and just going through life, we don't realize what are those limitations really being our box, right?
Exactly. We don't even take account we are not conscious that we are maybe just repeating, maybe just following orders, maybe just doing things that we don't want to do, but we are sleeping, right?
Yeah, because sometimes, we are just simply fulfilled that we have the dream job, the relationship which we feel is right, and we are just comfortable, right? But comfort is a very nice place to visit. But it's not the place which is going to give you progress.
Or maybe we can even think that we have the dreamy job, the dreamy life, but if we start digging out, that we realize that maybe that was not our dreamy job.
Yes, most of the time, depending on individual aspirations, I believe. Because what I said before, saying that comfort zone, it's a very nice place to visit. But staying in the comfort zone gives you that kind of laziness about, it's good, it feels comfortable, it's well known. I know exactly what to expect tomorrow.
Exactly.
The challenge is when actually you don't know what comes tomorrow. That we are sitting at the edge of an unknown and you are trying to figure out. This is where the comfort disappears and the uncomfortable situations appears.
Exactly.
So
and the uncertainty.
And the uncertainty. And the secret is that actually we all have our own box, right?
Yes.
And I came out with this definition of box, and I think that you saw it. Because for me, a box is standing for the beliefs, given by society, education, and the lessons which we learned in the childhood. O stands for the obedience, for rules, and fear of disappointing others, right? And X is xenophobia, the fear of anything new or foreign. And my box was always having like a form of a little pyramid, right? But a pyramid with 3 walls, not 4. And the top of the pyramid is always defined by my aspirations.
Okay.
If my aspirations, they change, somehow the walls of the pyramid are changing. They are becoming higher, they are becoming lower.
They aligned with that aspiration.
But lately, especially in the last year, I decided to break through the walls of my box.
Woohoo! I like it.
And breaking through the walls, I had to deal with my own beliefs. The beliefs that, I'm not good enough, that I'll never be able to succeed as an entrepreneur. The beliefs that maybe I don't have what it takes to be an entrepreneur. After that, I was thinking about, coming from a corporate professional, very successful, and going to an entrepreneurship. I was thinking what people will think about me, how they're going to be judging me. Are they going to be, I would say, as excited as I am, or they're going to be judging me? So these kind of like rules, and especially when it comes to family and friends, this applies because in principle, the ones judging you first are the people close to you, right?
Yeah.
Now, I had the fear of something very new, like xenophobia. This entrepreneurship, with all the knowledge coming from corporation, it's a brand new field. It's something totally different. It's going to a different pace. You might apply some of the knowledge, but entrepreneurship, it's a roller coaster. The pace is very different. The type of people and connections which you need to have in entrepreneurship might be different than the ones which you had before. So if I'm thinking about my previous box, the pyramid, and my aspiration to become an entrepreneur, I really had to break through beliefs, the obedience to some of the rules, and the fear of disappointing some, and xenophobia, the fear of this unknown thing, which is entrepreneurship. And I think in this journey, I was smart enough to get the support I needed because I knew exactly where I need that support. Talking with successful and unsuccessful entrepreneurs, enrolling same as you in mastermind, and really getting the blueprint of what are the key steps or key milestones to build a successful business. Understanding that my passion and my purpose are above and beyond anyone's judgmental thinking, or anyone not really understanding why I'm doing what I'm doing. So having this aha moment and realizing that, in fact, my box is not driven just by my aspirations. My box has the foundation of who I am as a person, what values I have, the purpose, what drives me, and why I'm doing what I'm doing. And last but not least, I really had to go and find the inspiration in some other places. But doing this and really channeling everything through the things which I know about myself helped me break through the walls and really open up a terrace.
Okay.
And my box right now has this kind of amazing view to a horizon which is unlimited, right? So, so to me, beautiful. It really takes a lot of knowing yourself, understanding what drives you, and what passions do you have. Because in the moment when you want to transform your box, you really need to arm yourself with all the things which you know you are good at, and to really acknowledge the things which you want to fight for and choose your battles.
Exactly.
So how your box looks like, Vicky?
Well, listening to you comes to my mind that our box should have inside everything we want, we like, we are passionate about, right? In our box, we have to put all the things that gives us life. So when I think about my box, nowadays, okay, I would think of calling it my ever-evolving box. Yeah? My box is like the universe itself, because it is vast, dynamic, and it's full with endless possibilities. And when I think about its inside, it's adorned with Reiki symbols, astrology signs, stars, planets, And each of those elements represent aspects of my spiritual journey and connection to the cosmos. I can also picture the walls of my box, you know, they are incredibly flexible. And an ethereal glow emanates from the walls, like symbolizing my inner energy and my light. And something curious is that when I touch the walls, they are like elastic and they mold to the shape of my hands, symbolizing my ability to adapt and transform. These walls are not like a boundary. I don't consider them a boundary, but extensions of my reach, you know, responding to my desires and my growth. I can also picture my box like transparent, allowing the light of the sun, the moon, the stars to permeate, illuminating my path and filling my world with inspiration, because that's all what I'm passionate about. And this transparency signifies clarity and openness to new experiences and truths. I also picture scattered throughout flowers, vibrant flowers blossom, and each represents moments of my growth, my healing, and my transformation through my work as a flower therapist. These flowers not only add beauty to my box, but they also symbolize the nurturing and the therapeutic essence that is central to my life and my passion, because I love flowers. You know, I have flowers everywhere.
Yeah.
Even now, my rings and my collar, they are flowers, you know. So thinking of this box, whenever I need to step out of it or invite something new in, it's like a simple snap of my fingers opens a window or a door, and I'm ready to embrace whatever comes next. They are like portals, you know, that symbolize my readiness to explore and welcome new opportunities while staying grounded in my authenticity, though I'm still learning to be more authentic. Yeah. But nowadays, this is the way I picture my box. But of course, my box has not always been like that. You know, many years ago, I was not able to see this ethereal glow emanating from the walls because, due to the mist filling my box, I was not able to see completely. That mist prevented me from seeing my real potential. Kept me trapped, thinking I was not capable of shining bright. I had to start asking myself many questions. You know, why things are like that? Who said things were supposed to be like that? Why should I obey? By asking myself questions and opening my ears, my eyes, my heart to receive the answers, that mist started like to clear out, and the glow started to shine brighter. And I could see not only my glow, but I also discovered that my walls were flexible and that my box was full of magic. But to get to that point, I started asking myself questions, you know, as what you were saying, all this, oh, if I do this, what people are going to say? If I don't do that, what they are going to tell me. So I started like challenging those beliefs, saying, but why? Why should I do that? Why should I obey? Who said that was right or wrong? So I believe that start asking questions is essential to detect what's inside that box.
So Vicky, you have a very vibrant current box.
I love it.
and I like the visualization of walls which you can touch, and the symbols representing the interior of your box. What was the hardest thing in transforming your box from what it was before to what is it now?
The hardest thing was to make decisions and take action to go against the rules that I was supposed to follow.
Mm-hmm.
That was key to transformation, to start saying, no, I won't follow this because everyone does it.
So it was your hard work was more on the obedience side, but I assume also you touched very deep on the belief side.
The beliefs, because I was like repeating stories, just going through. It's like no one would like me. I thought I had to do it.
Yeah.
So when I started asking, but why do I think I have to do this? And I started realizing that it was my belief. I have to. It's like, I don't have any option. No one came to tell me you have to do this and that. Yeah. I assumed it due to the fact, due to all the things I saw and I lived, my mind was assuming things. So I was believing things should be in a certain way.
So I know that you are an expert in dealing with customers where there is a lot of work to be done around beliefs. Mm-hmm. I really want to hear from you the definition of a belief, because people call beliefs different, they have different definitions of it. Mm-hmm. And if you can give the definition, but also tell us from your experience, what are the most common beliefs which people fight every day?
Mm-hmm. Great, I love it. Well, I think this is essential to start changing our mindset. A belief is a conviction or acceptance that certain things are true or real. These are mental constructs formed based on our experiences, our influences, our perception. Yes, beliefs act as our internal compass, guiding our thoughts, our actions, and our reactions.
Yeah. Yeah.
So beliefs are structured in our mind through repeated experiences and reinforcement. So they are often deeply ingrained and they can be formed through past experiences. For example, experiences, especially those that are emotional or repetitive, contribute significantly to the formation of beliefs. They can also be influenced by authority figures. Beliefs often develop based on what we learn from parents, teachers, grandparents, societal authority figures. Something that they say for a kid that doesn't know anything about the world is true. That's why we need to take a lot of care to what we say to kids, please. The beliefs can also be reinforced by confirmation bias. Yep. Once the belief is formed, our mind tends to focus on information that confirms that belief, reinforcing it further. So I believe something and my mind is going to focus only on that information that is going to confirm the belief. The beliefs can also create invisible loyalties. And this is huge. Oh. We work a lot on this on my sessions because we do the shadow work. And this is essential, yes? The beliefs we hold can create these invisible loyalties to our past experiences, families, cultural norms. These loyalties can subconsciously influence our actions and decisions, often keeping us trapped in patterns that no longer serve us. So recognizing these loyalties can be the first step towards breaking free and creating new and empowering beliefs. And I have here an example if you want to listen to it. That is a personal example of how loyalties, invisible loyalties work, you know. When I was a child, my father used to tell me that I was the grumpy of the family.
Okay.
And he was he kept repeating this. You're the grumpy of the family. And he even made jokes about it. So in my mind.
And you believe that, right?
Of course, in my mind, I had to be the grumpy of the family. But until one day, I saw this that I tell you, I start asking questions to myself because I realized that at school, I was always making people laugh. I was making jokes. I was very funny. And there was one specific day, I listened carefully because this can help you, okay, to recognize these loyalties versus visionaries. One day, I was stepping out of the bus, going back from school to home. And on the bus, I was like making jokes, people was laughing, and I arrived to my place and I was walking to the gates of my door. And once I stepped into the gates, I could feel even my gesture changed. I started like even physically changing that I feel like grumpy. And at that time, I asked myself, but how is this possible if I was making everyone laugh at the bus and seconds ago and now I'm grumpy? And that time I was not able to give an explanation to myself, but when I started studying and realizing that there was limiting beliefs, loyalties, etc., I connected instantly. I had to follow my father's expectations. If he says that I'm grumpy, I need to be grumpy because that's the way I feel that he loves me. Because I'm respecting what the role or the character he placed on me.
Yeah, I think your example, it's very easily to be understood by us mature people. Looking back and seeing exactly what were those planted beliefs in our childhood, beliefs which we carried on, and later on either we were comfortable with, but some of them we had to fight against.
Yeah.
So the most common belief is when you tell to your child, oh, you are not doing anything right. And that comes with the pain that you carry on, the burden that you are not good enough.
Exactly.
Or you criticizing your child, and I can relate to my childhood, being criticized or asked to be the best in school all the time. Sacrificing my free time instead of playing with kids, just doing homework. Yes, it paid off, but in the same time, I become an introvert. And every time when I was getting a lower grade at school, I was being criticized. So these kind of things I carried with myself my whole life. It paid off in the sense that I become very competitive as an individual. But in the same time, it also marked my question, which I ask myself always: am I good enough? And that question comes with a negative connotation depending of how you talk to yourself, right?
Yeah, it hurts you.
So
because maybe it's never enough. What is enough? You know?
What is enough? So refer to our childhood, we all have stories and learnings. Some of the beliefs and some of the stories, they help propel us even nowadays. But some of the beliefs, we need to work it out and adapt it and adjust it to the nowadays situations.
Exactly.
And also to be extremely aware about who you are, what you can do, what drives you now versus what drove you maybe 10 years back or 20 years back, and be able to break through those beliefs and transform your box.
Maybe they are, when we are kids, they are like the life vest, you know? But when we grow up, that life vest maybe is too small. So we need to take it out.
Yep.
I need to change it, replace it. So you asked me about the common beliefs, and you mentioned the first one. Yes, I'm not good enough is like, I don't know, raise your hand if you have felt it at some point in your life, because I think we all have felt this, you know? And this belief brings the idea that the feeling that one's ability or worth is inadequate. It creates self-doubt and hinders personal growth.
Yeah.
Because maybe, like in your case, this belief of I'm not good enough, you took so much effort to do it, you know, to prove that you are enough. But maybe someone else is going to be in the other polarity and is not going to do anything because
True.
they know they are not good enough.
True.
You know? So I would say that is the most common one. Another common belief is that I must conform to what others expect of me. Raise your hand. It results in living a life based on others' expectations rather than our own desires. And that was me, like 11, 12 years ago. I was just repeating what I thought I was supposed to do that others were expecting.
Yeah.
And this is also very common.
I can relate to that also.
Another one is, and I love this one, change is risky and dangerous, or I'll never be able to change. You know, this is like a fixed mindset that personal growth or change is impossible. And this belief promotes fear of the unknown and keeps people stuck in their comfort zones. I commonly see this belief in older people. I don't know, like, for example, my grandma. Every time I say something to her, she says, oh dear, at my age, I'm too old to change, you know? And no, there is always time to do things. Yeah, it's never too late. Another one is success is for others, not for me. This one is also very painful because it's like a conviction that one is unworthy of achieving their goals. It limits one's willingness to pursue ambitious goals due to a sense of unworthiness. And this can also create envy and leave us trapped thinking that we can't have or do what others have or do. It's like the neighbor's garden is always greener, you know?
Yeah.
So they keep us trapped in that idea of I can't do it, but the other ones can succeed and I can't. Another one is what I have to say doesn't matter. Raise your hand. This is the belief that one's voice or opinions are irrelevant. And that is me. And for many years, I've been like fighting against this belief. I have changed it, but sometimes it appears again. We'll mention this later. Another one is failure is the end. This is like viewing failure as a permanent state rather than a learning opportunity. So if you have this belief, go back to our episode, Success versus Failure, and watch it. And the last one I can mention is I need to make sacrifices to get things. And this is also very common. This is a notion that achieving success requires giving up important aspects of your life or your well-being. If I want this, so I have to sacrifice this. Who says that?
An old belief.
An old belief. Exactly. So those are the beliefs that I encounter more often. And I have good news and bad news for you.